Yeah, I started rabbit farming on a very small scale about 2 years ago, and this was after I realized the vast benefits associated with rabbit farming. But the other reason as to why I started it up was to kind of inspire youth that no matter how small of a space you have, you can actually venture in rabbit farming and make some money out of it. And yeah, to date, I have more than 60 pairs of rabbits, and I keep them in two different ways. I have the ones that I keep in cages, and I have some that I just leave to move around the compound. That's the free range mode of keeping the rabbits. But with the free range, you need to be super careful. I mean, if you're in a location that has a lot of dogs and a lot of cats, it's not advisable to do the free range. However, if you have dogs that you can train to be kind of friendly, to be used to these rabbits, you can still do the free range mode of rearing the rabbits. And I do have both the exotic breed. Behind me are the New Zealand white breed. Then I have a couple of the local breeds. So in most cases, the exotic ones are the ones I keep in the cages. Then the local ones are the ones that I leave out in the free range. And yeah, I keep the rabbits both for meat, but I also sell them out to other farmers interested in keeping the rabbits. The meat is mostly sold at my restaurant, Zodongo Foods. And yeah, there are a number of individuals out there who are interested in this. And I also sell them out to organizations. And for organizations, I mostly sell each rabbit at around 60,000. And I mean, keeping rabbits is something very easy compared to other animals. And I mean, the feeds are readily available. They feed on mostly vegetables that can be found in a number of markets surrounding us. And these, most of the vegetables are like waste to most market vendors. So what we do is, yeah, we have contacts of the market vendors who sell, for example, cabbages, who sell fruits, and whenever some of their cabbages are almost getting to waste, we send our team to pick up the cabbages that we then feed to these rabbits. So you just have to feed them, and I feed them twice in a day. I feed them in the morning hours, and I feed them in the evening. Feed them and give them some water, and they produce super fast. Like after just 31 days, they're producing, and as soon as they produce, they get pregnant again. And I guess you know what it means. Like, so they are like super fast producing animals. And I believe if you start with about 3 pairs of rabbits and you take good care of them, within a year you might have more than 50 rabbits in place. And the meat is super tasty. I think the meat is far much better than chicken, and it's white meat with a lot of nutrients. And yeah.
Okay, what are the challenges?
The challenges is they are clean animals. They always want to stay in clean areas, and I mean, trying to give them that clean area, especially in cages, is a little hard because they urinate quite often, like, and it messes up the places where they live, and oftentimes they get sickness from that aspect. But if you take good care of the spaces, make sure that the cages are clean enough, the area is clean enough, yeah, then they thrive pretty way, in a good way. Yeah.
And what sort of medication do you give them?
For the medications, I'm not sure about the names, but I have one veterinary doctor who oftentimes comes and checks on them, especially the young ones. he checks on them and gives them some vaccinations. So for individuals who want to do rabbit farming out there, identify a trusted veterinary officer in your community who can always check on your rabbits. And I mean, they're not that expensive given what you'll get out of the rabbits.
Are they animals that can easily fall sick?
They don't easily fall sick from my experience, provided that you're taking good care of them, they're living in a clean surrounding. And
What's the market like for us here in Gulu?
the market is catching up. I remember 2-3 years when I just started, there were very few rabbit farmers around. But yeah, it's catching up. People are getting used to rabbit meat. Organizations are also realizing that instead of providing other types of animals to the communities they serve, rabbits yield far better than the other animals. So organizations are also buying these rabbits for the communities they serve. And there is also market in the urine. I shared with a colleague who told me that there is a big market for the urine in Kenya. So nothing goes to waste when it comes to rabbit farming. And then the other thing that we're trying to explore is utilizing the fur to make different products like babies' shoes, but it's work in progress. So we are drying some of the fur, and yeah, in future we'll experiment and see what kind of products we can make out of the fur.
Financially, if somebody is interested in starting a rabbit farm, how much should the person put in place? Just like small scale.
Small scale, I think you can start with as low as 100,000. Yeah, you don't need a complicated structure. Like 100,000, get yourself like a pair of rabbits at 60,000, and use the other 40,000 to buy meshes, wire meshes, for caging the rabbits. Or if you want to do free range, yeah, you can use the other 40,000 to obtain a third rabbit. Like, it's good if you have like 2 female rabbits and 1 male rabbit, and then you kick off from there. And with good feeding and taking good care of the rabbits, within a few months you will start realizing yeah, some benefits.
And for you personally, what is like the future plan?
My future plan is right now I'm using this space just to breed the rabbits, and I'm also looking for other farmers who have like exotic rabbits that I can add onto the space. I recently got some from a farm in Lacho, and the plan is to get the best breeds and then eventually open up like a big farm. My dream is to have like an acre of rabbit rabbit farming. And yeah.
And if somebody is looking to start, which breed you recommend?
I would recommend a New Zealand white. Yeah, it's a pretty good breed.
Why is it?
Within just 5 months, it can weigh close to 5 kgs, and you have enough meat. And yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, we need to think about alternative ways of farming. Let's not stick to the traditional modes of farming, because a lot has changed, attributed to climate change. So if we just focus on the traditional ways of doing farming, then we'll lose out. Let's take advantage of internet media platforms to learn about alternative ways of farming, and yeah, let's embrace rabbit farming. And who knows, maybe in the near future Uganda can become one of the largest exporters of rabbit farming. I mean rabbit meat and rabbit products.
Besides rabbit farming, what else do you do?
I've also started keeping guinea pigs. Eventually the numbers would multiply, and I also plan I saw in in West Africa, people do keep edible rats. Like in Acholi, we call them anyeri, whereas in Uganda, you always have to go to the bush and hunt for them. So my other dream is to figure out a way of locally breeding the wild rats. I mean the edible rats, because the delicacy in actually sub-region, and no one has taken the endeavor or efforts to try and breed them. So my other dream is to do that. And yeah, besides farming, I run Takataka Plastics, a social enterprise that I co-founded in 2020. So we do plastic recycling. We make construction tiles from plastic waste, from plastic bottles like the water bottles and the soda bottles. Then I also run a restaurant called Zodongo Foods, whose main dish is rabbit meat. So if you visit Gulu and you want to try out rabbit meat, yeah, you can come to Zodongo Foods and give it a shot.